Why knowledge matters.
I was blessed with a home that I could come home to. What a blessing that is for each one of us. You know, the world out there can be real tough, and we have to face what we have to face. But if we can come home to a loving home, it allows us to go on with our lives. My mother and father were amazing. My dad was a good disciplinarian, but and he I can see him looking at me and saying, "Are you a quitter?" I was not. If I was playing and I quit, he'd look at me and say, "Oh, are you a quitter?" "Oh, no, no, I'm not a quitter." You know, that kind of thing. But my mother always found something of humor that she could add to difficult things that had to be dealt with. Like, for instance, my first 2 years in school were horrible because I'm dyslexic to this day. I'm still dyslexic. I, I, I. At that point, the alphabet just jumped around on the page for me. I couldn't, I couldn't read, so I repeated first grade. I was in first grade twice, and it was I was the class dummy, and I just really was broken as far as my own self-esteem, except at home. At home, it was a different thing. And then when I got into third grade, I had a teacher who saw something in me that the other teacher hadn't seen. So she appointed me as class governor. And as class governor, I got to take what was in our class and present it to our whole student body. And so that put me in a different position. And and the story goes on from there. But it's a awareness that life has to be lived and lived in a way that can be uh, workable, but also joyful and livable.
You say that your father said to you, well, are you a quitter? And what do you think? Why is it that we struggle so much in these days to keep families together? What do you think are the major variables that inhibits people of staying together? What has changed?
Well, first of all, I think love is the central focus. And love, see, I have these, what I call the 5 L's, that kind of give me a little bit of a platform from which to work. The first 2 L's are life and love. They can't be separated. It's like when I was pregnant, the baby and I were one being. What I ate, the baby ate. What I thought, the baby, we were one being. But when, so it was one complete unit. But when the baby took its first breath, it became a separate unit. So it was like I was manifesting the first part of the pregnancy with the baby knowing everything that I was. You know, we were one unit. But when as soon as the baby took its first breath, it became a separate unit, and it became manifested. It would now manifest itself as a true being. So the first 2 L's are really important to work together. Life and love need to work together. If you incorporate love into every aspect of your life that you can imagine, you're going to be really, really doing the thing that makes your whole thing, your heart sing. Now, the third L is laughter. Laughter without love is cruel. It's mean. It breaks families apart. It causes wars. But laughter with love is joy and happiness. The fourth one is labor. Labor without love. Oh, I have to go to work. Too many diapers. Life's too hard. You just drag yourself through one day after another. But labor with love is bliss. It's why you do what you're doing, why I do what I'm doing. It's you work 15 times as hard because you don't have to drag yourself through it like you do if it's without love. But with love, it's bliss. So that's the fourth, and the fifth L is listening. Listening without love is empty sound, clanging gong. But listening with love is understanding. So these 5 L's kind of put a foundation on or under the philosophy of how love permeates every aspect of our life if we choose to have it do so. But it is a choice.
That's why knowledge matters. Make your life a masterpiece. Visit now programs.d-ykm.com.